Hello, Bryce Palmer with Alexander's IT department here one last time to cover how to create orders for delivery in Extensive. So from the main menu here, the first thing we'll do is click on Orders, Create Order, and then you'll be prompted to select the customer for which you're creating the order. In most cases, you will just have the one option here for your product. You select the customer, the warehouse will automatically populate unless the customer has product across different warehouses, in which case you'll select the warehouse here. And then you are required to enter a reference number. If you hover over it, you'll see this value cannot start or end with space characters, and it is a required field. The reference number can be whatever you want it to be. However, the date that the order is being created should be included in the order number somewhere. So for instance, I could go O-05-01-26, and this is the first order I'm submitting today, so I'll type in 01. Once you've entered all this information, click Save, and you'll be taken to this next screen here. Once the order is created, there are some required fields that you need to fill in. The first one is going to be contact information here. So you are required to put in the company name and the address to where the delivery is being made. The first time you create an order, you will have to put this information in manually, but if it's an address to which deliveries are going to be made repeatedly, when you enter the information in here, you can check the Add to Favorites box, and then the information will pop up here under this drop-down menu once it's entered. So we'll just throw in some information here for demonstration purposes. If I check Add to Favorites, when I save this order, the next order I create, all of this information will display in here. Then we'll scroll down, and we have to now add our line items that we are requesting for delivery to the order. There's two ways you can do this. The first, you can click the Add button, and then you can add items one at a time by their SKU. So let's say I want to add 10 of the beds. Now you see they're on the line item here. The preferred method, I'm going to delete this line item just for clarity. The preferred method is to use the mass add option. If you click on this, this will give you basically a copy of the inventory view that we covered in the previous video to make your selections for adding items to the order a little bit more specific and easier to find. If you want to increase the size of this window, you can click on the little arrows here to expand it, and now you see you've got your inventory view. Just like what we discussed before, you can hover over options, click columns, check and uncheck any columns that you want to see in this view, drag and drop columns around, save a view so that the next time you create an order, the columns are already in that order, and filter by SKUs here, and so on. So this window is basically an exact copy of the inventory view. The only difference here is that this column on the far left, if we expand it, says primary quantity to add, and then the second column always shows primary available. So as we're looking through here to find our items, if we enter numbers into this column on the left, that will select the items to be added to the order. I can also click on an item and say add or select multiple items using control click to select multiple that are separated, or I can click one item and shift click to select multiple. But if I select an item and I click add all selected, that will add the entire quantity of that item that I selected to the order. If I go back here and I type in something in the primary quantity to add column, So let's say I want 5 of these, 5 of these, and 5 of these. If I come up here and click add, it adds each one of those items to the order. So again, the preferred method is the mass add. You get the inventory view, type the quantity of the item that you want to add in this first column here, then click add, and it will pop up on the line items here. This is the only information that you absolutely have to fill in other than the shipping address. Once you are done, you can click save, and now the order is in the system. You can also add the earliest ship date you would like to receive the order here, but please make sure that when you submit the order that you are still reaching out to your customer service representative so that they can get a delivery scheduled with operations. Putting in a date here is not an explicit guarantee that you will receive the shipment on that date. It's just this is the date that we're looking for. You still have to schedule that delivery with the operations department at your warehouse. So now that we've created an order, I will close out of this tab. And now let's say I need to find that order that I created because I made a mistake and I need to remove an item or I need to add a new item. We'll go back to orders. We'll say find orders. And this screen, again, very reminiscent of the inventory view. You have your search filters on the side here. You can drag and drop columns to rearrange them. Options, columns, you've got all your check boxes for columns that you want to see. You can save the view, and you can also filter on these columns from the column header by clicking on the meatball menu. Once you have the order found that you want to modify, if you select it, hover over Manage, and click Edit Order, it will pop up on the side here. The other way you can do it if you want more room is you can say Edit Order in New Tab, and then it will bring up this screen again that we were looking at before. So let's say I accidentally added this line item and I want to get rid of it. Just select it, hit delete. We'll ask you for confirmation. You can confirm, and then you can also come back and do an add and put something else on the order too. So let's say I want one of these. I'll click add, close. Now you can see it's on the receipt here. Once you are done entering all of your information, click save, and then mark the order as complete. Once you mark an order as complete, you should not make any more changes to it. If you need to make changes, please reach out to your customer service representative so they can let the warehouse know and things can be modified from there. And now you see, now that we've marked that order as completed, you can no longer edit it. Orders also cannot be canceled. So if you submit an order and find out later you can't accept delivery or it needs to be canceled for whatever reason, again, reach out to your CSR and they will be able to assist. So that covers all the basics of submitting an order to request a delivery in Extensive. And again, if there are any questions about this process or site functionality, reach out to your salesman or CSR and they will attempt to get you the answer as soon as possible. Thank you.